Hey, what's up? Today's Sunday, August 5th. It's just about 8 o'clock in the morning, kind of typical weekly check-in. So I think this week I'm going to try to make it pretty fast. So for those who, if you do follow on Instagram or Facebook, or also thanks for connecting with me on MyFitnesspal, for those who are on MyFitnesspal as well. So today, officially 10 weeks out. Some of the guys that are also training right now are looking great, coming along great. Guys I see every day: Matt Tanuvasa, JR Norman, Kuli Maloifo O, Zach Nawaka. I see him often as well. These guys are working hard, and so they got me steady working hard and competing with them. Stony Fonua, Elone Fonua, those guys, I see them training and killing it as well. So they got me focused and working. And there's also, don't me forget the other guys as well. I know that those guys are training hard too. So, but for this week's update, just want to talk about, for me, just real quick, yesterday had my son's baptism. He just turned 8, or LDS. He just got baptized. We had a big celebration and super went over my calories, and so that reflected in this morning's weigh-in. But that's also part of the reason, or days like that, and instances like that are also the reason why I track daily, which I know can be super tedious and super monotonous. But these are, because days like yesterday where I just overate or just kind of, when I'll track a little bit, those are going to happen, especially over a 6-month period. I've been tracking for this show since April 7th, not just trying to get in shape, but just I was tracking specifically for this show in October since April. And so for that time span, myself, I'll speak for myself, not anyone else, I'm definitely going to have days where I, go way over. And so that's part of the reason why I use my spreadsheet and I love MyFitnesspal, just to be able to help me balance out, those days and help me understand how I can stay on track. And so let's look at that, and I'll just give you an example. So actually, I'll be honest, it was this entire week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, pretty much at 3,000 calories plus. And so we'll look at that here in a second. And that is not good, right? That's not good. I can't continue to do that. But if I look at my week over week, still making the progress that I need, that means I've got some ground to make up this coming week, though. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet and MyFitnesspal. And again, address if you ever are if you're dieting and you feel great, and then you have one day where you just kind of like, that one trigger food or something kind of sends you off the rails a little bit. That one day, 2 days, or in my case, 3 days, and then that can really deflate you, or really deflate me and kind of mess with my head. And so this video today is talking about how I look at that and how I address that going forward. Because I've already had that. Like each week, if you watch these videos, each week I usually have a day where I allow myself kind of some excess calories, but I've been able to factor that stuff in, and this spreadsheet gives me an overall look to where I'm not focused on one specific day or 2 days, where I can see the trend that I have in my body and how I respond, and then I'm able to be calculated in my week-to-week adjustments. So that's today's focus of today's video. Is one, for myself, like what is my strategy now going forward, having eaten well over my calories yesterday, or the last 3 days, and how do I get back on track and stay on track now that I'm 10 weeks out from my contest. So let's take a look. All right, so first things first, thanks for those who've connected with me on MyFitnesspal, but let me just go and show you kind of my rough guesstimate. So there's my goal, and there I was. That there, folks, is not what you want to see. All right, so I'm just trying to be real with you, but that's not what you want to see. I'm not advocating going 1,000 calories over your goal every single day, but just a little bit more of being real. Friday, I was not any better. Not as bad, but not any better. And Thursday, what the hell, guy? Can't be doing that, right? And you know, the only person accountable for this stuff is me. And then Wednesday was pretty square on track, right? So now I wanted to show that because, you know, sometimes I get frustrated or we get frustrated. I'm like, man, I get it in the scale this morning. I got it in the scale this morning. Last week, Sunday, woke up at 205.8. Today woke up at 208.8. That sucks. I don't want that to happen. But, you know, sometimes, you know, in the past, I would wake up and be like, oh, man, I can't believe I'm not getting progress. I'm not doing any better. What's going on? But in reality, you know, I just had 3 days where I just went off track. You know what I mean? And so if I'm being honest with myself, then yeah, I can foresee the gain is going to happen. And so, you know, a lot of why I want to post these videos, why I want people to connect with me on MyFitnessPal, why I want people to see my spreadsheet is just so they can see, hey, like, you know, the only one accountable for these results is myself. So if I'm on track, great, it's because I'm staying on track. And if I'm not on track, well, there are things that are happening or that I'm doing that are keeping me off track. Hence these, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week, can't do that. So, but there are a few factors that help me to somewhat keep peace of mind and stay motivated and focused going forward. So let's jump into the spreadsheet really fast. Okay, now if you know, or if you follow before, you know that I don't necessarily focus on any specific one day, right? My focus is always here on the averages. So let's scroll this page over just so we can see that. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, my average was, average weight was 210.3, right? And my goal my weight loss goal is 1.5 pounds per week, average weight. Okay, so for this week, for this week that just ended, my goal was to get down to about 208.5. Now, if you can see, my average weight still, in fact, I exceeded my goal of 208.5. You know, I wanted to get down to 208.5. So this week, my goal is to reduce down to 206 even, right? And that's to stay on track for where I anticipate I need to be for the week. For the contest on October 13th. So if you notice, we'll see how the trend went for this week. So last Sunday, I had a weighed in super light. I had a busy Saturday before this, so I think that's really where that big weight drop came from. But obviously I enjoyed Sunday, so that showed in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so the trend started to get back on track. But then Thursday, you know, that started to creep up a little bit, and so yesterday was at 209.8. So although I woke up this morning at 208.8, yesterday I woke up at 209.8. So despite those 2 days, I actually woke up a pound less than yesterday. But again, my goal was to get to 208.5, and I'm at 207.9. Okay, and that's 1.5 pounds. I wanted to get 1.5 pounds less than this number here. So still exceeded my weekly goal. Okay, and then you can see for this new week, I'm going to keep the same macro goals. And my target goal weight is going to be about 206 or under. All right, so I hope they make. So the reason I want to show that is because, again, going back to I myself, you know, if you're on a meal plan or a clean food list or whatever it is, and you know, one of the biggest reasons why I would fall off in the past is because, you know, just like days like that where, you know, I'm kind of in with the family and just enjoying and the food and, you know, and then so kind of just overdo it, and then I just really get down on myself afterwards, and the weight doesn't, you know, shows up the next day or the next few days. I'm just like, man, I'm gonna lose, I'm a loser. I'm gonna quit, and I can't do it no more. And so that really starts to affect me. And so here I can allow that to do the same thing, or I can try to understand, okay, what is the pattern that I've seen, and how have I been able to make adjustments to balance that pattern, or balance uh, out my results, right? And so MyFitnessPal helps me to track all the food. So one, I try to track every single thing, right? If you eat 3,000 calories, but you only track 2,000 calories, does not mean that your body is only burning 2,000, is only having to consume 2,000 calories. Nah, it's consuming everything whether you put it in there or not. And so try to track everything, guesstimate it. I guesstimate a lot, just to give me an idea, of where I'm at. And then the spreadsheet, I use the spreadsheet again for peace of mind. So, again, though I woke up today heavier than I did last Sunday had a super weight drop. But if I look, and I had, kind of over excess days this week as far as calories. But being able to look at my weight progress over the week and take the average of calorie intake, calorie burn, my workout times, and then also my weight, helps me to see and understand, okay, all right, so I had these days that are not good days, right? But I'm able to see that, okay, I'm still making the progress that I need to be making. I can't continue to do the over calorie things, because that's going to continue to add up. And in anticipation of that as well, this week, I also track the number of calories burned and my workout time. And so when I do have those over calorie days, I am consciously trying to make some of that up, right? And so if you look at my spreadsheet and you notice, over time, my calorie burn average continues to go up, slowly increases, and and I start to get more efficient in my time as well, with the amount of time that it takes me to get to that average calorie burn. Okay, and so if my calories were going to stay where they were, where they have been the last 3 days, then my calorie burn would have to go up to match that. And so I'm kind of maxed out as far as time and like the calorie burn right now, or not maxed out, but I don't have like a ton of increase that I can make in my calorie burn for the amount of time that I have in training. And so right now it's the calories. My calories have got to be in check, and they've got to be. I've got to get them back on track, or else it's going to derail me a lot, right? And so, again, today I advocate tracking with MyFitnessPal. I use MyFitnessPal. I use the spreadsheet, and that reason is because I know I'm going to have days like I did yesterday, and I know I've got a goal for October 13th. This year. And so if those days are going to happen, how am I going to bounce back or stay on track, or at least be calculated when those days happen? And so hopefully this information helps. I don't even know, like, I'm just trying, I think this is what people would be asking, because these are the questions that I get asked. I get asked like, hey man, how do you track, what are macros? How do you even know what your calories should be? How do you even know what your macros should be? And really for me, this is kind of what I'm trying to explain or share with people. One, if you use MyFitnessPal, or you can go online and just Google it, like what should my calories be, or what should my macros be. But in MyFitnessPal, it'll give you, if you put in your height, weight, goal, weight, and stuff like that, it'll give you some guidelines, or some, it has an algorithm that'll estimate what those numbers should be for you. And that's a good starting point. And in fact, that's what I did. It's been a long time, but that's what I did. And then from there, I've just slowly tracked meticulously, because I noticed that those numbers didn't exactly result or create the results for me that it said it would. And so people are very different, and those algorithms, they're not an exact science for everyone. And so, how did I figure out my own calories? Well, I took that number that it gave me, that estimate, and I used it. And I slowly looked at my progress day to day, week over week, and made adjustments as I needed to. And that's how I've come to my current macros and current calories. And it's taken a lot of time and effort. A lot of people sometimes too, they want you to just, hey, can you just give me this number? I can give you a number, but that may not produce for you what you want it to. And so it goes back to that principle of, give a man a fish, or you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And so that's really what I want to be able to accomplish with this stuff. So hopefully it makes sense. I don't get a lot of questions like on YouTube or anything like that, but I do get a lot of questions. I run into people face to face. And so if you have any questions or something that I could try to do better about, even show some workout clips, though I have a lot of workout clips on my channel, which my workouts are continuing this. They continue the same. I mix a lot of things up. My biggest focus is lately actually have been my delts, my lats, just trying to really show that up, and then also just trying to work on my conditioning right now. But as far as my style of working out, it hasn't really changed. I mix a lot of things up, and my goal right now is that calorie burn. So kind of rambling now, but if you watch this, thank you for watching. If you like it, share. If you don't like it, comment. Let me know what I should be talking about that would help someone else trying to, make that, trying to cut body fat, or, trying to live a life outside of a food list as well. So thanks for watching. Big ups, Utah Strong, for the Conquer shirt as well. Peace.